Welcome everyone. It's time to go.
My name is Zara. I'm 17 years old and I'm profoundly deaf. I wear bilateral cochlear implants and I go to school. I'm in year 12 and I'm doing my A-levels.
Hello, my name is Farah. I'm 22 years old and I wear hearing. I was born here. I'm turned deaf when I was 9 months old. But I'm a special educating new teacher in Latvia, but I live in Latvia.
So in our world, we have around 11 million deaf people. And for Ismailis, in the UK jurisdiction, we have about 700. There are also different types of sign languages, which some deaf people use to communicate. So in the UK, we use BSL, which is what we're teaching you today. But in different countries, they use ASL, American Sign Language, or French Sign Language, or Kenyan Sign Language. There's around 300 different types of sign languages around the world.
Wow, that's a lot of different sign languages from around the world. But we have a Facebook group for all the deaf Ismailis across the whole world that includes the UK, Europe, America, Canada, Africa, Australia, India, Pakistan, you name it, any different country. And also we have recently we have that Ismaili website for any that people want to use it.
So first, we'll be teaching you the alphabet. You first need to choose a dominant hand. So for me, I'm right-handed, so my right hand is my dominant hand. And your dominant hand is the one that does all the pointing and all the work. For example, the letter A, I point with my index of my right dominant hand to my left hand. Each finger on my left hand represents a vowel. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. The first letter is A.
And the next letter is B. B.
Like binoculars.
Oh yeah, like binoculars. So B.
C.
And then that letter is D.
D. The next one is E, which is one of the vowels we talked about before. E.
The next one is F. The gears go up.
Next, we have G. Two fists on top of each other. G.
And then the next letter will be H. The platform and then H.
Now we're going to go from the top, from A to H.
Ready?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Great, let's move on.
The next letter will be after H is I. Remember the vowel, the A is I, the middle finger, I.
The next one is J, and it goes from I, you draw it, and it makes a J shape. J.
And then the next one will be K. The three finger, and then make it like a heart, and go K. K.
The next letter is L. Have a flat palm with your less dominant hand and an L shape with the right hand. L.
And that's a little bit M with the three fingers together. M.
The next one is N. Make sure the fingers are together. N.
And then the next letter is one of the vowels is I. A-I-O.
The next letter is P.
P.
Now, again from the top. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Good.
Just 10 more to go.
The next letter is Q. The round finger and then Q. But that's the shape of Q.
Q. Next one is R. And you make a little curved hook with your right hand and place it on your left hand. And it looks like an R.
R. The next one might be a little bit tricky. Then you have two little fingers. And I'm drawing them on. Then the left terminal and the right terminal goes on top.
S. Next one is T. T. It looks like T. T.
The last letter of the vowel is A-E-I-O. U.
Next we have B. This looks similar to N, but the difference is N is with the fingers together and B is with the fingers apart.
The next letter is W. Put the hand together. So W. W.
Next we have X.
And the next letter you've got Y. Y. So make sure you have the next dominant U. Make sure they look like this. And the Y goes straight down. Y. Between your fingers and your thumb. Y.
4 fingers and the thumb. Y. And the last letter, Z. All right. Now, let's go from the top. All right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Well done.
Now I'm going to finger spell my name. So Z, A, H, R, A, Zara.
Now I'm going to spell it my name as well. So, F-A-R-A-H.
Farah. Now, my sign name is Zara, and a sign name is basically a name that you can make for yourself. That's a sign. So it can be a physical characteristic or something to do with your personality, whatever you like. For example, if I really liked tennis, my sign name could be Zara. Or if I had really curly hair, I could make this my sign name. I chose this as my sign name because I have blue eyes, so Zara.
And my sign name is Farah. Because A-R means far, and in AKSWB sign language, it's Farah. So that's why my sign name is Farah. So, we are going to be talking about grammar. So we're talking about English grammar and British sign language grammar. They are two completely different. So we're going to give you an example. What's your name? So in English, it's what is your name? But in British language, we need name your what.
The question is at the end.
Yeah. Okay. So for example, I'm going to ask Dara what's your name in British language. Your name what?
My name, Zara. Your name, what?
My name is Farah. Okay.
Now we're going to do this again with our voices off. This is to show you a sample conversation. When asking a question, make sure you show a frown in your eyebrows to show you're asking. And when you're answering, raise your eyebrows to show you're receiving the questions.
Yeah.
Just makes sure that the conversation is clear and you know who's asking what. And make sure you have good facial expression because sign language is a very expressive language. Okay, we're going to do our sample conversation now. All right, and thank you for watching. Maybe practice at home signing your names and the alphabet and coming up with a sign name.
See you next time. Bye.